Hello and welcome to my craft room. It's Rhoda. I don't know if you recognize this, but it's one of my ancestors' memories journals. I made it back about 6 months ago, and it was like pieces of tea bag, and I put my grandmother, my grandfather, some of the other family. I have Traveler because it came from West Virginia, and that's my granddad. So I made this little guy up, and I needed to fill it because I'm going to send it to a sweet cousin who's always behind me on my Facebook page and stuff like that. And she never wins any of the drawings, so I wanted to send her something. This is so personalized, I don't think I could give it to just anybody. So I want to give it to her. Well, it's empty. I did get it all set up the way it would be, like I did the original, which was for my great-grandparents. But we're both on the same wavelength, level-wise. So she's a first cousin. So this is her grandparents as well. So we're good. Actually, that's her dad right there. So I've got some things cut up and to put in here on the different panels and such. And went through and chose the particular stories I wanted to go with and that kind of thing. Well, thank you for coming to visit, and hope you get a little bit of an idea of how you can do your own ancestors' memories journal and what to put in it. I would have chosen to go with tea-dye paper, but all my tea-dye papers, it will get caught in my printer, so I just had to go with white. I hope she doesn't mind. But this is a story about when they came over. People remember a cattle drive, other people remember a train, and I figured out over time that it was both. They came over on the cattle drive and wagon train to bring all the all the stuff from the house because it had been too expensive. And so then they went and came back and got the younger kids, and then came back to where they were going to settle. I think I need to do that in 3, don't I? But this was just different people's memories of that occasion, because this was way back before any of us were around. So everybody was remembering what the grandparents had told them, and that's what you just have to do. You got to get out there and ask. Ask, ask. I had all kinds of different cousins that I asked this different questions of. Shoo, I'm always last minute on everything. I forgot about these little jars. Grandma used to can everything. So, and she loved pickled beans and I think pickled corn. So I had to get that to put in the little double belly band I got going here. I just folded it up so it had an extra little tuck in it, just like this. And you could put any kind of stuff you wanted to in there. All right, we're going to put the pickled corn on this one. And this is sort of like a, what do you call that? Burlap. So that would be perfect. Then we're going to put this on the other one. And I'm going to put jam on the third one. I'm last minute on everything. This has got to go out tomorrow, so that's why everything is in a rush. I had all kinds of things I had to do. I had a ephemera folder I had to do. Going to send that out. I had my drawing winner that I had to get accomplished and finalized, and that's being sent out. And then I wanted to send this as well for my trip. Which, you know, I'm on the trip probably by the time you see this. Over in West Virginia, which is where my grandparents come from. And I don't know if my cousin had heard a bunch of these stories. Probably so, because her dad was, you know, my dad's the youngest. Her dad was almost up there to the very beginning. So he had a lot of his own memories that he probably passed down and told his daughters and everything. Alright, so that's done. Then all I got to do is tuck those in here. And I'll just leave them sticking up so they can see what's in there. Pickled beans, pickled corn. I had some pickled corn at a cousin's one time, and it was a different taste. It was pretty good. I mean, back then, I guess getting a pickled flavor is the best thing you could do to get any type of different flavorings. All right, these two, I picked out different places where they have lived. Now, this is my granddad, and this is about his passing, but let me move this over where you can see it a little better. But this is the way this works. It flips out. There's the cabin. This is what I consider to be their X-shaped cabin, which if you see the photo in the cover here, that is the house that Granddad built, and it was an X shape. It had a windowless middle room, and since he was a miner, coal miner, he would work and at night and sleep in the day. Well, forgot to do one for that. Rats. Oh well. Oh well. So I have a big journal card here, which was to hold the Brill place. That was one of the first places they lived. Now, it's not going to exactly work the way I was wanting it to. So, what I'm thinking I might just do is put it down here at the bottom and then glue the top one over the top of this one. You know, it's hard to figure out how exactly wide I wanted everything to be here. That one there, I can probably just actually glue this all the way down, to tell you the truth. Let's try that. Put me a little bit up and through here. Alright. Yeah, because I did rip that one, and I didn't want it to rip anymore. So we'll do that. Now, the top one, we'll just do the top edge. And that'll work just fine. Then all she's got to do is lift it up to read the rest. So we will do it like this. At least match up our edges as close as possible. There we are. Yeah, this one was about the Brill place. That was one of the first places they stayed at once they moved over. And she remembered how cold it was, and they actually had a person that was Santa Claus. Back then, the kids didn't have to go to bed. They would sit there and wait for Santa Claus to come in. He brought in oranges, hard candy, and Brazil nuts. And she said they never saw an orange except at Christmas. And so that was kind of interesting. Now that one is going to go back in here in this little pocket right there. Oops. I was afraid of that. That one little piece is going to catch. All right, that goes in there. Now our next one, this piece, I wanted it to look like it was a doily or hanky. So it actually goes in here like this. And it's an extension of the hanky. So it extends on each side there. So what I wanted to do was actually put this story on here. Now this one is actually a flip up where you can write. She can write. I don't know if she will. I doubt it. She'll just find this fascinating probably. Alright, so we're going to put this story here. And I actually may do it as a fold down so you see the doily. So we're going to do the same situation. Where I'm going to glue it about halfway up. There we go. And then I can fold the rest of it down. At least I don't have rounded corners on this one. Okay. And this was the web place. And this was like the second place I think they lived once they moved over. And there was a few different memories. Now this one, this one's funny. I need to read you this. Okay. My Aunt Reen had a story that Grandma got it in her head that Grandpa Cleve, this is Grandma, this is Grandpa, that he was stepping out on her. And there was a big fat lady that would come over to the house a lot. And so Grandma fixed a chair, lining its cover with rose briars because that lady always sat there. Well, my aunt or someone else told me another story. She said they actually did that to the bed because Grandma would go over to West Virginia and revisit some of her sisters that stayed over there. So anyway, that was, she always called loose women strumpets. Crazy. Crazy. She was a soft-spoken, kind little lady. Lived a hard life. Oh, after, I mean, he passed away. And she was left no job, no way to work. Raising quite a few little youngins. Always on assisted living of some type. I don't even think they really had assisted living back then. All right, are you going to go in there? What's going on? All right, I'm going to put you on pause and see what's going on. Well, I'm not exactly sure what was wrong with it. Huh. It's... Anyway, I will have to see if it'll go back in this time without me saying a few bad things to it. It's going in now. I don't know what was going on. Well, I have these two places here, and I don't even think I have anything on them, but they're for photo. Oh, no, I do have something in there, don't I? Oh, no, that's that story. Oh, that must have been what was hitting it. That right there. Okay, we'll put that in that pocket. Oh, I'm having a time, aren't I? It's too late. I've done too many videos today. Oh, all right. We're just going to leave it as is. This little door comes open, but doesn't go anywhere. I have this. It's an empty pocket. This was has a little thing here about who these two are, and I'm gonna glue that on the back. Of course, I made it too long. It's going to be one of those times. Oh. All right, put that right there. And then that goes in this pocket. And I have a little secret pocket up here to show you, which is here. And that one little eave holds it down. And you can write in it, you can put a photo in it, you know, whatever would work. I doubt she'll do anything with it. She'd probably just leave it be. All right, now I've got to decorate this part up, which is his Grandpa Cleve. And this is a story about what happened to him. And I'm going to do it the same way I did that front one. I'm going to glue half of it down and then lay the rest of it over top. I had fun figuring this thing out. I mean, the old one, the other one has my grandparent, or great-grandparents, I'm sorry. And I made their cabin. They had a cabin. And I don't know if that's exactly what you would call my grandparents' house, because it was like planks and everything. And this is the part I need to glue to the very top. And then... Okay, I actually got it right. I decided to just go all the way down on that other one, so let me do that one here too. Yeah, I don't know, my poor granddad, he worked so hard. He had so many kids. He had to keep working. The doctor wanted him to stop, but he said he didn't have the luxury of doing that. So his health just kept going downhill. He wasn't, my dad was a year and a day when he passed away. So he really didn't know his dad. But he had a grandson that would play Maple on the Hill for him. And there was a big maple in the yard, and he would sit under it when he played that for him. And the family would want him to play that song after that. He wouldn't do it. He said that was the last song he played for his granddad, and he didn't have the heart to play that song anymore. I've never heard the song, but, you know, that was a very, I've got quite a few people in the family that are musically inclined. That didn't come in my direction. Okay. I like this background. There we go. I'm going to trim off that one edge that I got sticking over. There we go. I'm going to put that in here. So far, so good. Not been too bad. Now, we have that over here again. Oops, I got that sticking out too far, I think. Yeah, they're sticking out too far. I'm just having a heck of a time with these two. I'm going to cut those down. Now, this is the interesting story. There's an But there's an Appalachian custom about pillow crowns. They're also called death crowns. But what happens is when a person passes away, they open their feather pillow. And however way they lay on that pillow, it forms this crown. It just kind of weaves these pieces into each other. And it's really a mystery on how it's done. So that is, I'm going to just cut that down. I trimmed off that word a little bit too much, but I think you can figure out what it means. But it's very interesting, and you can look it up and get all kinds of information about them. Pillow crown or death crown. And it's been several of them in our family. I mean, I did not fully do these correctly. I shouldn't have done the 2 columns. We're just going to do it like this. Alright. Just like that. And then we're going to fold it in. And that's all she wrote. But here's the story. It's a couple of my cousins were talking, and Grandma had one, or there was 3. No, wait a minute. She had one for her mother and Lily. So there must have been at least 3 in the pillow when Grandma passed away. Because there was a little baby that died, and then, her one son had already passed away. And then earlier, there was another 2 that Grandma actually had that was her parents, Mam and Pap. So there was quite a few in the family. It's one of those Appalachia mystery on how those things formed. All right, I am cutting down these two. I don't even know if I'm going to post this video. But if I do, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye. I hope you got to see a little bit of something that was okay. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these down just a little bit more, round off my tips, and put them back in there. And then she could use them for her own pictures or whatever she might have. But I really appreciate you coming to visit. Thank you. Thank you. Stop by again. I might have some more before I get back from my trip with a big old story. Bye-bye.